Hello and welcome back to my reactions. I'm Madam Arm and today I'll be reacting to the 1989 horror movie Shocker. I think I've probably said this before in other reactions. I am not a big slasher fan. I only really came to start enjoying horror movies more in the last couple of years. Up until then, it was only really a handful that I really wanted to give a chance. Like, as a kid, I'd seen The Ring, I liked Carrie, and like some kids-oriented horror movies, but, and maybe a couple others, maybe. But this is one that, even though slashers are my least favorite in the horror genre, I will give it a chance because it's Wes Craven, and he made A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is a series of films that I watched for this channel, not as reactions, but for a project that will happen down the line, which I was hoping to get out next Halloween, but I'm thinking it might be 2 Halloweens from now, based off of where my scheduling is at right now. However, I do like that series of film. I do think Wes Craven actually is pretty depthful as a horror director. He doesn't, it's not just to be cheap and gross with him, even if some of his early stuff was pretty exploitation heavy, like Last House on the Left. But I really have never seen this movie. I don't think I ever even like caught parts of it on TV or anything. It probably showed on one of the channels on my TV growing up during Halloween time, but I don't particularly recall. I have heard from those who don't like it that it feels kind of like it's sort of trying to rip off A Nightmare on Elm Street, which to that I say it's Wes Craven's creation. He can do what he wants. He's allowed to have similarities. I shall be the judge of if this is a total ripoff or not. But without further ado, let's start playing this. See the shadow of a stranger, turn around and your life's in danger. Okay, first off, I have to say, I can kind of get like the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, did have Freddy working in his like little boiler room, making his knife glove, and say, yeah, this is an opening, you see somebody, you don't see their face, they're working on stuff, but also that's just kind of a cold open, that's going with opening credits, trying not to reveal too much. So far I don't necessarily see a weapon, I just see him working on electrical stuff, so right off the bat I don't know if that's directly comparable, other than it's like maybe a director's stylistic choice. Music by William Livingston. Really? This is a very rock heavy.
Sleeping over a month because of that creep.
If you don't like the news story, change the channel.
I hope you don't play football like
yeah, well, some of us would like to know and be aware someone's out to try and murder people, especially if they're preying on a certain type of woman or person.
Otherwise, when you look the other way, someone's going to come up and help cream your ass.
Yep. Like cream in the ass? It's not Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Oh. Oh my god.
Tracy, that's using your wheel and your head.
Literally, right into the goalpost.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
You sure you're okay?
I'm all right. Go ahead.
Aw. She's so
Sure you're
pretty.
okay? Sit next to you in chemistry.
Her name's
We've been
Allison,
going
and
out
she's
on and
played
off
by
for a
Cammie
year.
Cooper.
You once told me you wanted me.
Alice Cooper?
You bear my children. I mean, maybe.
We haven't had children yet.
We haven't even slept together.
No.
That's good. I want to be respected as a person first.
Oh my god.
Now we're talking.
You're crazy, you know that?
Funny and likable characters. It's definitely a Wes Craven horror movie. I'm probably showing my cards. I do very much like Wes Craven. Oh, what? What the fuck? Oh!
Jonathan, are you okay?
What happened?
I'd love to know. Of course, it's raining at the most dramatic moment.
You don't want to go in there. I mean it.
No.
Lieutenant Parker, with the killer now murdering your own family, will this intensify
Phantom
your
like
so-far
devastator of
unsuccessful search for
families.
the
Oh,
identity
yeah,
of the killer?
appropriate time to come up
This
to him
time,
is
killing
seconds
a wife and
after.
2 foster children.
Who is this man? What motivates him? We'll see that.
Maybe just the need to kill motivates him.
Shit, that's how it was.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
He had dreams like this before.
I can smell the blood.
Yeah, be careful saying stuff like that, otherwise you're gonna look crazy and they'll think that you did it.
Works.
All right, you tell me, I'll check it out.
No, I'm in on this. I'm there. That way or
Well,
no
he,
way.
you're so like,
procedure, you know it.
No, fuck procedure, Diane. You want this guy?
he's so convinced already of the authenticity of his dream matching up and being more than just a coincidence, and so willing to share it already. Like, it could be, like, has he had dreams about this before? Because he's so willing to jump in early on and share it, which usually you see these kinds of things, and it's like they wait because they doubt themselves and they wait to tell. It's usually what you see, but we're clearly going a different route here.
This is all because he had a dream.
Well, I mean, police have gone to psychics before. It's not too much of a stretch, really. Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck.
Call for backup.
Call for backup!
But let's go in first. You'd think that the cops would be a little more of an even fight. They're armed with guns. And this guy's got a limp, but I guess if you get the upper hand, you get the upper hand. Oh, kitty. Sorry you had to see that, Cleo. Nope.
We could find him again.
Hey, you stay out of this! This is my business!
Hold on. What? Go back 10 seconds. Okay.
We could find him again.
Hey, you stay out of this!
Okay, going back an extra few. Great. What?
We could find him again.
Hey, you stay out of this!
What is the death face?
Through a most unusual means. According to the police report, Jonathan Parker, foster son of Maryville Police Department's Lieutenant Donald Parker, dreamed of the killer. The junior
Yeah, we should be maybe be careful about putting certain people's certain key witnesses or whatever's name out in the news like that.
Allison? Only I have.
But if he's repairing TVs, people should be able to know from his business and be able to identify him. Identify him.
Jonathan Parker, I love you so much.
That's nice. Now what is going on?
Safe.
Oh!
What's that? You better go home.
No.
Stretch it all the way around. Get some more tape and this. That's good. All right.
You better go home, because this is something you really need to go right home to. Jesus. Jesus. Holy shit, how did that much blood everywhere? No, you could have pulled him out before then, Jesus. Well, she doesn't look so bad there. He stayed away from the face.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Day for night. Run, Jonathan, run!
Wanna play in this game, boy?
I would be running, hiding, getting out a window, not saying, do something! Oh, that's a dream. I guess I could excuse that then.
Asshole.
Evening, Johnny. What are you doing here?
Get upstairs.
Get these two guys here! Back it up, boys. Move it!
Hurry! Fucking hurry!
Bastard. I'll blow your head off. Go ahead. Take your pick.
Okay. I say, like, as far as main characters go in horror movies, like, oh, Jonathan is extremely brave right off the bat.
All right, cuff him. Get him out of here. Go ahead, Rich.
By the way, boy,
Died real hard, you know. Your girlfriend?
It's over. Now let it go.
I want to see him die, Don. I've earned it. I want to see him die.
Well, your entire family was killed, and then his girlfriend was also killed. Where you just telling him to let it go. It's a very cold reaction. I'm liking the soundtrack.
It's time to...
What the fuck?
You got it, baby.
What?
I guess. Must have fried his fucking brains.
Oh, well, it did your job for you, I guess.
No way. Shit.
Don't put your... No. Why would you get in trouble? I mean, how did he get all that stuff? But also...
Open up! Finger licking good.
Yeah, stop him.
It isn't right. It just isn't right. You're treating him like some kind of animal.
Well, he kind of.
Why give animals such a bad rap?
Yeah.
Would you like to pray with me, my son?
No animal would deserve this, but he does.
Loud, hasn't it? I used to beat you good, boy. I was beating you good when your mama tried to stop me with a gun.
You shut your mouth, you fuck!
Witness, Ohm. You saw me kill her. Don't you remember how she screamed?
The chair is armed.
I mean, so clearly,
Is armed. The inner chamber is now sealed.
you know that he's the father that beat Jonathan. I also have to I do have to say, he does have a very good performance. Yeah, he's still not dead?
Get in there, doctor, and check him out.
No thank you. Send the lady in. Send the lady doctor in.
Situation. Guy's had it.
Help me. Get me to a hospital.
Right, she's alive.
She just wanted to be a humanitarian. I hope she is okay, because she was...
Been in the papers, you're a foster kid. He was messing with your mind, that's all.
Okay, I'm glad that they gave... Like, I know he must be, really, but I'm glad they give an explanation as to why he would know that otherwise, and he's not just like, no, just forget about it, and... Oh my god.
Chair really kicks ass.
Oh my god.
Leave me alone. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are you...
Lie down.
It's just...
How's she doing? Is she gonna make it?
Yeah, she looks good. Sleeping like a baby.
Great.
Whoa! Holy shit! Yeah!
How come you're so interested in the doctor all of a sudden, huh? Pinker is dead, John. Go home, get drunk or something.
I don't think he's dead.
I gotta say, his dad really does have weird reactions, or his foster dad, you know, has really weird reactions to how his son is processing things.
Nothing but a bunch of fried meat and good riddance. Just too bad he took so many people with him, that's all. Lieutenant!
Who wouldn't be freaked out? It's just a huge explosion after something crazy happened. Like, the doctor's just fine and he's just, like, suddenly fixating on him. No.
You gotta stop him. I'm so cold, Jonathan. Hold me.
You're also very, very dirty, sweetie, so maybe not. What? Yeah, I'd want to get out of there.
Father, Lieutenant Parker wants to see you down at the station. I got a car out here. Jonathan, you hear me?
I thought I'd call and tell you a story.
I don't know if I trust.
The car wreck yesterday? Well, he's disappeared from the hospital.
Yeah. Fuck.
What's your problem, Pastor?
No, let's just keep playing as a... Oh, thank God. The moms are... Get away, get away.
Pinker?
But you just gotta keep on looking, I guess. Oh, Jesus.
Help me, please.
Oh.
Pastor? How did I get out of the hospital? Oh, Jesus. Help me.
Oh. I'm sorry, Pastore.
Feeling it? Oh, mother. Come here, kid.
Yeah, no, run! Run! Use those jogging shoes! hit the ducks. Oh. Gross. Seriously, dude, can you just not use your leg properly in any body? I gotta say, the little girl's going for it. Oh my god. Okay. Get away. I knew it. Poor mom. Poor mom. Grab it, grab it, grab it. Oh, I thought that was gonna be a murder weapon.
The goddamn clap or something? I know it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what he's doing. Maybe he's using electricity or something because of the way he died, or he kills the body.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, I'll get you 10 of them.
There's only one of them. It's in the bottom of the leg.
Coach isn't coming. He's out laughing it up with Pac-Man somewhere right now.
No way Coach will jerk you around.
No, he was really serious about it. He was, at no point did it seem like he was humoring you, because he was never really
I mean,
doubtful.
for all I know, the cops...
I do think he's got a lot of integrity to the character. He's definitely trying to make sure that others aren't going to be harmed. He cares about others. He doesn't just openly, like, bring people into his... Is this Cammy again? She has very nice handwriting, even with blood. Or I mean Allison. Oh.
Coach?
No. Ew.
Jonathan! He's too strong! I can't will him out!
Yes, you can.
I'll will it to you, Jonathan, to get this bastard! Coach! No! No!
Get out of my way, bitch.
Oh, she can prevent it. What? So she's like,
Jonathan?
it's like the whole like angel versus devil thing. She's like his guardian angel.
I have something very important to tell you. Listen very carefully.
I can't talk above a whisper. Ever. What the fuck?
May interest you to know there's an APB out on you. Half a dozen people witnessed Pastore chasing you in the park.
Yeah, and why is he out of the hospital? Why did he mysteriously leave the hospital in his clothes? I don't think that's an indictment against Jonathan. Also, my friend's murdered in the other room, in case you are interested at all.
What is it with the electricity around here? Put him in my car, I'll take him back myself. Yes, sir.
Oh no.
Shit! Shit! Go! Come on, John, get on your feet! Move, move, move! Come on! Come on, go, explain!
No, I'll get him! I'll get him! This one's mine! Dead end, asshole.
And a lot of electricity. Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh. Someone is gonna fall to their death there. Most likely it's the foster dad. What? What the hell?
I got you.
Alright, there we go.
Donald Parker. Indeed, police lab reports confirmed that the deaths of Coach Sidney Cooper and student assistant coach Roy Pac-Man Stewart.
So because they were taking video of them in close-ups during the funeral in the beginning of the movie.
I do. You guarantee you'll deliver the guy responsible for the copycat killings last night?
That's right.
This is definitely how things work, yeah.
I'm gonna make you a network anchor man. Ready for that, aren't you?
Too bad it's locked. Let's get out of here.
Pick it.
That's a felony.
No, that's a log. Pick it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wait. I'm confused why you're running. I thought she's been on your side. I don't know why you're running.
So, I'm here.
And I'm not stained red anymore, so that's a plus. Oh.
You'll never be apart from me again. Ever.
We hear you, Lord. The Lord wants more. We still need more cash for Christ. Let it rain, and the beast shall rise out of the pit.
Glory
and walk
be.
among the world, and great,
Back in the days of Jim Baker.
devastation and desolation.
It's like a crucifix. Wow. What? This is so goofy.
Parker, very much like executed mass murderer Forrest Pinker, fighting at least what appears to be the new masculinity.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Now, wait a minute, that's my drink. Get him, honey.
Sweet, go, go, go. Shut up.
Come here.
Brother, are you all right?
Holy shit! It's him, Horace Pinker!
People are gonna think it's like a video game or something. Some kind of weird digital effects. Okay.
Hey! Like it or not. No good Pinker Ellison told me the secret. Maybe you were my father.
Ooh, the
You know who
ADR.
my father is now? Know who's responsible for me? Me. No one else.
I get down from here and you talk meat.
Ugh.
Storm that was. Look at that sky.
You there? You see those stars?
Absolutely beautiful.
It sure is.
Alright. Alright, well, let me just start off by saying I did really like that. I liked it a lot. I can definitely see why some people have criticisms of it. That being said, my main thoughts when thinking of criticisms of it and understanding others, not a single one pertained to calling it a Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff. Like, not at all. Like, I wasn't really thinking about that throughout the movie. I don't think it is. I see similarities, but also some of those similarities kind of reach towards certain tonal shifts that we get later on in the series, but not the original that he actually did. I'll say this movie has a lot of tones going for it, and I don't know if they're particularly blended as well as they could be, because the way it's marketed, like, I just watched it on Amazon Prime, and it said horror comedy, and that makes sense because this is very goofy, but at times it seems like when the goofy came on, it came out of kind of left field, because they were doing it pretty seriously in the first, I don't know, half an hour or so of this film, other than like him at football practice, but that's kind of like just a thing of like establishing like the regular kind of goofy, lighter parts of a person's life before he gets into the creepy stuff. So you've kind of established a contrast. However, when all that messed up stuff is happening at Pinker's repair shop, or his headquarters for TV repair, and then all of a sudden we get that one cop who's laying on the hood of the car, strangled or whatever, and his face is contorted like a cartoon character. That is so goofy for the tone that we were getting in the first chunk of it. And it's perfectly fine to have a horror comedy or have a horror movie that has humor in it, but it felt like it was hard to take it seriously at times when just so randomly the weird stuff would happen. And I think what it was on intentionally, a horror comedy, and that makes it better. It does, than if it was just being weird at random and not understanding that it was. But I think there was kind of a blend that almost blended right, but it felt a little wonky at parts. Not necessarily a huge criticism, just a criticism that it didn't feel completely like the tones blended and balanced right. That being said, they weren't horribly balanced. And I'll say that it also kind of meant that things kind of felt like they went a little too quickly with the movie. Like, kind of like went from one thing to another, because it's kind of like, and as much as I've condoned this, I'm gonna do a little bit, but it's just a comparison. I could choose any movie, but it's just easy to one that's fresher in my mind. Or Elm Street. It would be like if we saw the first like half an hour to 45 minutes was us knowing that Freddy Krueger is a child murderer and he's out to get people, and then we get to see him being set on fire and all that, and then the second half of the movie goes into him killing kids, killing teenagers as revenge, as a dream demon. It kind of feels like you had to kind of, and that's all fine to do, but it felt like at times there's a little bit of a rush. Like, I feel like, and granted, I know that Wes Craven had a history of kind of getting his movies kind of a little bit chopped up in ways that he didn't want, and I think there were things he was dissatisfied with this film. Even though this was one movie where it seemed like he actually got to really do what he wanted, as opposed to getting a lot of interference. I feel like there probably still had to be some, because I don't know. I think he was an intelligent man and a good writer. And it seems like there were some things that were a little rushed, like the whole thing with Allison. She's very likable, and I did feel that connection, but it does kind of feel like there's a little context missing. Like, was the chemistry, I sit next to you in chemistry thing, a joke? Because then, like, they're walking arm in arm just that very night, and like it seemed like the relationship was a lot more loving. And then, like, really the next scene, she's like leaned up against him at a funeral, and then she's in his house taking a bath. And so I feel like there had to have been a relationship already. But at the same time, it would have been nice to spend a little bit more time with her before she gets killed. Like, I don't know. I would have assumed that she was gonna die, and it would have an emotional impact, obviously. And it did. I do actually think that connection was really well established, of how much that hurt him when she passed. But I would have probably had her die by Pinker when he was already like an electricity demon. Because I feel like that would have really heightened the stakes of him in this kind of unstoppable state. And yeah, him jumping from body to body and chasing him around was a really powerful thing, and it was really powerful to, have his friends and coach killed in that state. But I feel like her thing could have been like the last straw. For it to, like, I don't know. I would have probably had it a little bit later, just so we could get to know their relationship better, and it could really make an emotional impact when she was killed. And we could have maybe not, or we could have had both. I don't know. But I don't know. I just probably wouldn't have wanted her to die so early in the movie. And it felt like I didn't completely feel the weight of Jonathan's parents dying. Well, his mother dying and his brother and sister. Like, that felt a little bit rushed. Even like just with the procedure of like, don't go in. I don't know. There's just something kind of off with the police scenes. Like, it just felt not super believable or something. Like, his reaction was kind of like he was upset, but we didn't really get to hear much about afterwards. And I feel like that would be a big motivating thing. You lost your family, and they kind of don't bring that up so much. Like, they do, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It felt a little bit like, I don't know, not as emotional as it could have been. And maybe that's just me expecting too much. But yeah, again, like, I liked this a lot, so it wasn't really like, it didn't ruin it for me, because I already knew this was going to be goofy. But I guess part of the reason him losing his foster mother and brother and sister felt like, I believed he was upset, but just not as upset as they could have portrayed it, was because of the foster dad and how he was. It almost seemed at times like he was mechanical, and it was like he was mostly just meant to be conflicting for Jonathan, as opposed to you can genuinely understand why he's butting heads with him, but you do see his side. Where it kind of felt a little cliched about, like, what is wrong with you, boy, kind of thing. So it felt a little bit more like more like a cliche rather than like completely getting it. Like there are definitely movies where you're meant and set up to be on the kid's side, but you still understand the parent's side, even if you don't agree with it, and you're like, come on, pull your head out of your butt or something like that. It's still kind of like get it, and they feel fleshed out. Whereas the dad, it felt like it was just like constant conflict. Like, why are you so concerned about the doctor all of a sudden? And it's just like because all this crazy stuff happened. Like she just blew up in a car. Even like he, of course, he'd be concerned. It wasn't like you just randomly fixated on her, or at least from the dad's viewpoint, randomly fixated. We would know that he was probably on to maybe the body swapping thing at that point. And I do kind of get where the dad's coming from. Like, you get that he's like worried that his son's crazy because his son's telling him about these like dream premonitions he's having about Horace Pinker killing someone, and he's knowing all these things that only the cops are and the killer would know. I get it, but it kind of feels just a wee bit undercooked. And everyone processes things differently, so maybe that's just how the dad was processing things. I didn't want him to fall off the tower, so I wanted that relationship to work out. I will say I really do like Jonathan as a main character. Like Peter Berg, you could say maybe he's not necessarily the best actor to capture like a kind of a camp kind of thing and balance those tones greatly, but it's not distracting, or at least not for what the overall tone and so many things going on in this movie are, that makes it hard for me to enjoy the character, because I really like Jonathan. I think as far as horror protagonists go, he's very brave right off the start. He's very willing to jump in. He also has a great concern for others. He very much, when he was dreaming, didn't realize he was dreaming, was ready to go and save his mom and little sister. He didn't want his friends to end up in trouble. He just went and started kicking Horace, and chasing him on rooftops. Like, very commendable. A lot of horror protagonists don't necessarily even like start there as brave as he did, especially not the final boys. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Granted, I perhaps have not seen enough movies where there is a final guy, but I feel like the bravery is something that you usually have to find along the way, and he already has that in spades. He just has to figure out what to do. And so I liked him. I liked him a lot, actually. Yeah, he was a character I cared about, and I was definitely on board for his relationship with Allison. I keep wanting to call her a Cammy, but I know her name is Allison. I would have, like I said, I would have liked to see more of that relationship. And that goes to another thing. This movie has a lot of ideas going on, or ideas I like. I liked all the ideas. I just don't know how much all of those ideas needed to be in one movie, or if they were all written well together. I mean, it is very cheesy that her heart necklace is like the thing that stops him, like a crucifix. And I get the idea. It's like he's such an epitome of evil, and he's a demon at this point, that something like love that's very strong, like she's reaching out to him through the afterlife, is going to repel him. It is kind of silly that it's the necklace, but also this movie is kind of silly. So it's an interesting idea, and her reaching out to him through the afterlife. I liked seeing her in those scenes. I would have liked a little bit more, because sometimes it just came across as like that sort of like angel versus demon, but she's still kind of creepy in that first one because she was still covered in blood. I don't know. We got scenes with her, but I would have liked to have seen maybe a bit more of those scenes to kind of fully establish what was even really going on with her there. Because at one point she shot that beam of light out of her. and she was talking about telling Jonathan a secret and all of those things. I would have just liked to more fully understand like what everything going on there was. And my assumption is that Jonathan just has this power that he is connected. He's got kind of like a sixth sense kind of thing. He's got those clairvoyant dreams. But because the focus was on Pinker, it seems that he's just got this psychic connection to him. And clearly Pinker's got one back because he knew, he seemed to understand. Even though maybe he just recognized him from back when he still lived with him as his little boy that he horribly abused. Because otherwise it just seems like he's got a psychic connection to him. And if the reason is just because he's his dad, I mean, people don't have psychic connections to their parents, so it has to be like another layer of supernatural stuff there. It seems he would be clairvoyant because then he's also having dreams about Alex. It would have been nice to delve a little deeper into that, and just kind of how Horace knew about hooking himself up to a TV while doing doing like a cult-like ceremony to commune with electricity for the afterlife. Where that came from. Yeah. Like I said, when I'm talking about every single one of these ideas, I think they're all good. It was just, it would have been nice to have like fleshed each one out a bit more so it kind of felt more cohesive and not like just everything's being thrown at the wall. But that also, if we wanted to still get that setup of knowing the serial killer beforehand and that whole drama leading up to it, this movie would have ended up being very long. I don't necessarily mind a long movie, but maybe for like a popcorn slasher in 1989, they wouldn't have necessarily wanted like a movie that was over 2 hours or something. Or maybe it needed a trim, I don't know, in order a trim and then a tighten up to make all those ideas, like get rid of certain things in order to explain those ideas more. I don't know. But that being said, I did greatly enjoy watching it. It gave me some laughs. And I think all of those laughs were intentional. I don't know if I would say it's like gonna be one of my favorite Wes Cravens, but it could be. Like, it depends. I haven't seen all his movies. I had problems with things where I'm like, oh, that could have been done differently. But I think Wes Craven himself said he would have been fine with like having a remake of it because there was like effects and just certain things that he wished had come together better. So even though it was one that he actually had more control over. Because I could see this as like, if things were balanced and mixed just slightly differently, and didn't have to be a major change to the story or casting or any of that, but just kind of like balanced, slightly different, you could still tell the same point A to point B and C, D story with the same beats and the same ideas, and just kind of tweaked certain things and tweaked the tone. I think this could have been like easily a big hit because like if you think about it, going back to like Elm Street, that definitely had humor. It was a dark movie, psychological in a lot of ways, but there's always some goofy stuff in there that worked. It all worked together. I hate comparing it because I really don't think as movies they're really that similar. I'm just trying to draw something because it's a movie by the same person. If it was done in that way, I could have seen it being a pretty big hit. And it could have spawned the franchise that he wanted it, because he wanted it to be a franchise, so he could actually have some franchise rights, because he wasn't really getting anything from Elm Street at this point. But, so it actually makes me sad. It kind of makes me sad, because I do think overall this had a lot of really good ideas and was fun, was creepy. It was a great soundtrack. It's a really fun soundtrack. Very rock and roll, heavy metal. I liked it. Good characters. I think it had a lot going for it, and things just slightly didn't mix right or just didn't hit right with audiences. And it would have been nice to see where this could have gone as a franchise. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it would have been terrible as a franchise, but I mean, look at all the things that became franchises. It's not like a lot of those, all of them had winners every single time, so. Yeah. But as much as I'm giving it criticisms, like I said, I really liked the characters. I liked the actors as well, mostly. And in the cases where I didn't like actors, I think it was probably just like maybe some writing stuff or a certain thing they were going for. But I do think I will see this again. I think this is another one this is one that I will watch again, and maybe I'll like it less on my second viewing, or maybe I'll like it more. But it's definitely one I can see myself not being annoyed by having to see again. And who knows, like the more I watch it might just all the goofy aspects that I didn't hate, I may just come to absolutely love. So yeah, speaking of soundtrack, I'm really curious because I feel like I'd heard Alice Cooper was involved with the soundtrack. Even though I know it said William Goldstein did the music. Okay. Yep, Alice Cooper. Okay, so that makes sense. It's funny that we have the actress Cami Cooper. I'm assuming no relation to Alice Cooper. And her character's name was Allison. And they still had, like, the coach was named Cooper, wasn't he? Yeah, Sidney Cooper. So, yeah, they had to get those names in because, as I'm reading on Wikipedia, original music contributions included songs by Alice Cooper, who later played Freddy Krueger's abusive foster father in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. As well as the 1973 hit No More Mr. Nice Guy, among others. Yeah, so that makes sense. So he's contributing to the movie very heavily. That would be in there. Oh, to speak of acting, also, I wanted to praise Mitch Pileggi because he did a great job of being really creepy, but also having this like sick sense of humor, and just being very convincing. He gave a really good performance of someone I don't want to be anywhere near. And I do feel like if this had become a franchise, it would have been one of those cases where they wouldn't have wanted anybody but him to play the character, and ever there came a day where, like, now in the 6th installment, where they decide to get some guy so they could make it on the cheap and not have to pay his salary or something, it would have been the official nail in the coffin. But yeah, happy Halloween. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Madam Arm,